Situation in Haiti is now reaching Venezuela proportions. Inflation has been in double digits now since 2014, and the price hikes are angering many people in Haiti. Listen closely to this, I always say it's all about perspective of, well, I'm struggling and I'm this and I'm that. 60% of nearly 10.5 million people in Haiti struggle to get by on $2 a day. Over 6 million Haiti. $2 a day. That was according to a recent report by the International Development. And that's also stated that half the country is undernourished. And all this is courtesy of the Clintons, Pelosi and the rogue US military. They need to be dealt with. Final piece before we have a music break. I want to say kudos to Randy Morgans, Emily and Shane for the show they did last week. They covered a very sensitive topic regarding sexuality and the labels surrounding it. And as they all said, why can't we just all be people? 60 plus different labels now for a gender. $60 different labels for gender. I mean, how ridiculous is that? And which total retard comes up with all these descriptions? Did he not stop and think on these matters? Clearly not. Look, I get there's many people who are not comfortable with gays. Well, actually, the truth be known, it's more to do with male gays than females, is it not? Let's not beat around the bush. And the real issue is the Bible and the religious programme has done much to create that division, more than any half-wit civil servant has ever done. It goes against God, they cry. Of which I would ask, which one? Do you know which one you're praying to? Have you met him? Plus, have you actually realised God or Jesus never wrote any books? So how can you be sure those are God's words? The answer 100% is you can't. You've just assumed. Assuming is not fact. But the irony, which is not funny in any way, shape or form, is these same religious preachers are the ones that are doing homosexual acts. Not with adults. Oh no. The children. And they stand there and deliver sermons of what we can and cannot do, telling us we're all sinners, and come into my gossip box and confess to your sins. When in reality, if anyone needs to go into confession, it's these very preachers themselves who have to confess. Not get covered up by those allegedly on high. So these anti-life preachers set all the rules of what is sin. For those who are new, the God of sin is knowledge. Oh my. Come and confess your knowledge, not your sins. You can't have knowledge, that's a sin. Get the picture now? You can't do this or you can't do that, whilst doing the very same acts themselves. These people are sick. But it doesn't help us that so many still prop up that system to this very day, despite all the evidence. If you wish to pray and follow God, fine, stay at home and do it. But the point is, the real God source, of which we are all part of, would not play the eHarmony game of matchmaker. Surely the object of us all is to love each other. And if two people love each other, does it matter if they are the same sex? More importantly, is it any of your business who other people choose to love or be? You see, everyone talks about ending Big Brother, but the people are the biggest proponents of it. Do I care if Randy is bisexual or straight gay? No. Will it affect my relationship with him? No. Why should it? Do I care if Shane's child is transgendered? No. The point is, it's nobody's business what people choose to be. What people do in their own bedrooms and with whom is, again, nobody's business. By making it your business, you are Big Brother, are you not? The only issue I have is when it becomes a program. And clearly, both of these groups have become part of a program from where I stand. On the one hand, a lot of these people want to be left alone. Then on the other hand, they want people to recognise them or label them. And few of them are realising they're doing both. But you can't have it both ways. And some of those communities really need to think about what they are getting across. And they need to be more definitive of their own path. We have to get to a point where there is no need for anyone to come out, as they call it. Why should anyone have to announce it? This is the dichotomy situation again, is it not? A need to be blended into society, but also a need to be recognised as a label. Which one is it? And it's something that the gay communities need to ponder on, I feel. I don't go up to people and say, hello, I'm a white heterosexual male. So why should a gay person feel they need or want to deliver who and what they are? That is not a critique. That's an observation that perhaps needs to be pondered on. Because to most of society, we are seeing different messages which will not help the integration in society for the all. Is it not the case? The only time we need to know what sexuality a person is when that person expresses an interest in us. Otherwise, it should have no relevance, in my opinion. But I don't think some of the actions of doing parades down the street and putting it in people's faces helps too much. The reality is society is just not ready for it, clearly. It takes time. And I compare it to the alt media. When it first started, there was very few of us, as too many in society, were not ready to learn the truth. That's a fact. But over time, many more jumped on board with it. Even Facebook moderators. And a more softly approach is required until people are ready. Ramming anything in people's faces has always met resistance, no matter what the subject is. But this topic's real issue is political correctness, which essentially means we label everything and then talk bollocks. And I warned of this back in the 1990s of where it would go. It's stifling discourse. All people are treading on eggshells over saying certain words, many not knowing which words are correct or not to say. And ultimately, it is creating more division, which is exactly what the programme wanted. So kudos to Randy and Shane for bringing up the sensitive subjects that were also personal to them. And kudos to Emily for providing a balance to the relevant topics discussed in that show also. Loves the answer. Always was.